Hello, Tuesdays. Hello, Tuesday. Welcome down, everyone. Welcome down. 13 people already in. Hi, guys. Welcome down. I forgot to put comments on, so I can't see comments. There we go. We've got the First Lady of the Newcastle scene in. Hi, Dartsman. Welcome down, my lovely. Let me know that you are here in the comments if you're watching. Give us a like and a share. Hi, Acro. Shalom to you, Pat. Hi, Claire. We've got lovely Claire in. How am I signed in? Hopefully I fixed everything last week. So, Mike's dodgy. Of course it is. Of course it is. Bear with. It's literally just been fine.
And click on.
Better? I think I figured out... Oh, try to flash. I think I figured out what it is. I think it's whenever I talk to the guests before coming live, it knocks it out. New background, it's actually just my wall. I've had a little rearrange. This is just my wallpaper. Fixed it. Fabulous. Amazing. Amazing. Honestly, it's Technical Difficulty Tuesday, which means that some people have got to have a shot. It's a real thing. Please tell me you're doing drinking games if you are drinking. Honestly, it makes the life so much more fun. It makes the life so much more fun. Hi, Anne-Marie. Hi, Lucy. Fabulous. It's so good to have everyone. And hi, Pete. We've got all sorts of people in tonight. Love it, love it, love it. So yes, we've got two very special guests tonight. Two halves of the same coin, and only one of them is ready to go on. So please welcome in on a Tuesday, brand spanking new, a Tuesday virgin. Please welcome in the lovely Elle Uminati.
Hi,
you girl.
How are you?
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm really good. I'm very excited to get to actually chat with you again because it's been so long.
It's been so long, yeah. I moved about 18 months ago now, and I've not been back since last January. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's been
how's everything going? Because you moved over to Ireland and left all of us Newcastle girls behind.
It's good. It's very different. Very different. And it was weird going from such a big gay scene and community to nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows, but Ireland just isn't as advanced as us, unfortunately, back in the UK. So it's been different. But you know, we're getting there. We're doing different. Yeah.
You've got a big competition coming up as well, haven't you? Like it's almost like, is it a battle royale? Is that
it's called? Almost, yeah. It's for St. Patrick's Day. We're doing it's called Royal Rumble. So it's going to be 8 different queens from across Ireland and Northern Ireland, and you know, there's things like sync battles, there's solo performances, just to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, really. So it'll be fun. It'll be different being online, but you know, yeah, be good.
Oh, so there we go. Everyone get following Elle for all of the updates on that one. We are, of course, waiting for Kitana because Kitana is eternally late. It's just what she does. So if you've got any questions for Elle, make sure you get them in the comments now. Kitana says we're all homophobic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. So yes, get those questions in just on time. Naturally, Kit's not ready yet. Of course, Kit's running late. Yeah, fabulous. So what else have you been up to in the past year and a bit?
Eating lots.
Fabulous.
Weight. I moved for like a boy job, which is going really well. So that's exciting. And then kind of I'd started to get back into kind of drag over here, and then lockdown #1 happened.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a bummer, but you know, I think the first lockdown kind of was actually really good in a way. It kind of let everyone, you know, do things.
It gave people time to breathe, I think.
Yeah, like, I baked so much I never bake, and like I did new things I'd never done, and now it's just kind of a bit tedious, isn't it? But
it's got to the point now where it's starting to get a little bit samey. But we've got a roadmap out. We have got a roadmap out, which hopefully, fingers crossed, we can do. I just can't wait to get back into a bar. I can't wait. Anne-Marie says next week is her birthday. I thought it was 15 weeks away, but we'll go with it. Happy birthday for next Saturday, Anne-Marie.
Happy birthday.
The lovely Anamorphic is asking, where's the fire one? We don't know. She was here, then she's gone, and she's going to just turn up eventually. Frida's in saying hi, and has said, Elle, seeing you on my Instagram feed makes me so happy because you're so pretty.
Thank you. Yeah, like I've only just actually started Instagram properly this lockdown. I didn't use it for ages.
Yeah.
But like it's a good like I love to do all the editing and like put the backgrounds into it and stuff, and like it's something to just do during the day. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like a lot of the time, I take my selfies before I start and get all of the pictures and everything done, and then I'll sit there and I've just got nothing else to do. So I'm like, oh, let's fix this one.
Yeah.
And then I never post them because they're never fixable. But it's worth doing, especially like when you've got the looks and the body that you've got. It is worth because you've always been a very, very pretty queen.
I try. I don't know about always.
Kit's going to come in and she's going to be like, where's all my compliments, Penny? Where's all my compliments? Tessa's love the hair.
I did it myself.
And she wants to know, what are the lockdown rules in Ireland at the minute? Are they different over here?
Yeah, so we have no roadmap at the moment. Schools are going back in stages every 2 weeks. So the first stage was yesterday, Monday. And it'll take another 8 weeks before all schools are back here. So.
Fabulous. I mean, our kids went back on Monday, yesterday, and I was so glad that they went back. I don't even have kids, and I was just happy to walk down the street and not be surrounded by someone else's crotch goblins. It's not fun. Hi, Kate. How you doing, girl?
Hi.
Can't hear you, pet. Oh, she's good. I was like, have I got her on mute? I haven't. Mona's playing the drinking game that she came up with. She's written down some different things. And so far she's had 3 shots and we've only been on 8 minutes. So if you are going to drink at home, please drink responsibly. We are not responsible for you having shots. 4 shots. They've had 4 shots because of Kitana's technical difficulties. It's coming on. I can't really have a Tuesday without having a shot myself. Are you drinking, Elle, or are you just?
I might crack open the wine.
Treat yourself, lass. It's a Tuesday. Right. You go do that. What's everyone else drinking at home? Hi, Daniel. Kitana's vanished again, obviously. While they're doing that, up the bum, no babies. Oh. 5 shots. Oh my goodness. So yes, if you are, because I do this for other people's lives as well. I always make a little drinking game, and I did it for the Pebble Dash roast, which you were in, Elle, yeah.
I was, yeah.
I did it for that, and I wrote down one thing for every performer that was there. Okay. And I was like, once it's mentioned, I'll cross it off, whether they mention it themselves or someone else mentions it. Cross it off, and it took me 20 whole minutes to do all 9 of you.
What was mine?
Yours was dumb. Because you got a lot of stick that night for being a bit of an airhead.
Do you know what it is? I'm such an airhead, I really am. But also, I don't think people know, like, I'm actually quite clever as well.
Like when I knew you back in Newcastle, I always had you down as quite intelligent. But I think
I'd be academic. I just have no like street wise about me.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things as well. The second that a wig goes on, I do think something takes over. Like,
yeah,
it takes me back to like the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror years ago when Homer got a hair transplant and it kind of got its roots into his brain. I was like, It's exactly like that, because I know for a fact once a wig goes on me, it is Penny. Yeah, and Penny's brain kicks in, and it's just a whole nother side.
I don't think people know until they do it, do they? Like, it's so different. Like, you turn to a different person, blah blah blah. But you actually do. You
really do. It's like for me, it's a very multifaceted thing. Like, there's a lot of similarities between Penny and Stu.
Yeah,
but Penny's very much a whole entity in herself. I often get confused. I confuse other people in the street when I refer to her in the third person. So like, I'll be out shopping for something. I'll be like, "Oh, Penny will love that."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Do you not love it?" And I'm like, "No, Penny will love it." Daniel's asked, "Who put 50 pence in me today?" Well, if you do want to put 50 pence in me, there is a little PayPal down here. if anyone has got 50 pence, you know, times are hard. Times are hard at the minute. Shauna said, love the look. My camera keeps flashing and I don't know why. I'm very confused by that. Yes, Kieran, it is Sambuca. We have got Jasmine Dick in tonight.
Hi, Jasmine.
She says, hi, Elle. How you doing, hun?
I'm good, Jasmine. How are you? Are you good?
Give her 3 hours and she'll reply.
I saw Jasmine doing in October a live stream of Resident Evil or something along
Yes.
those lines. I can't wait. I'm so excited for that.
I think more people should be getting online and doing streaming. Not on a Tuesday night. I'm just going to say that. Not on a Tuesday. But every other night, feel free. Get yourself online. Stream something.
Definitely.
Honestly, like, it's been so much fun for me to do these on a Tuesday. Like,
the thing is, what, like, before lockdown and coronavirus, people weren't really doing stuff online, were they? Like, obviously, we use the internet daily and we do everything online, but we weren't doing shows or performances or drag online.
Absolutely.
It just wasn't a thing. And I think it'll be interesting to see when things do go back to normal, will online still have the presence?
I hope so.
I do. It'll be good.
For me, it's been really enlightening to kind of get a chance to see people that I haven't seen in forever, people who might not be from Newcastle, people who I haven't seen in 10, 12 years. And they'll pop on and they'll say hi. And it's so, like, it's just amazing for me to be a little bit nostalgic with it. But at the same time, the freedom to do whatever you want to do online is so fun.
Yeah. I think it's, obviously we put so much work into being in person anyway. Yeah. I don't think people, even performers themselves, realize how much work actually would have to go into doing virtual stuff though.
Yeah.
Like the editing, all that. It's crazy. I've just seen the comments.
Yeah, for anyone wants to know when's the OnlyFans live.
Tomorrow.
Speaking of OnlyFans, in a couple of weeks' time, we've got Tony the Doll and Pawn, who used to be Karma Valentine, on Tuesdays. So make sure that you tune in for that one. It's going to be camp. Like, it's like tonight's like a little trial run for that because they're pretty Instagram queens. So I've got you two on as like a trial run. It's like, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be fun.
Frida has said there was meant to be a show tonight, but it couldn't happen due to unforeseen circumstances. No one expects a birthday. No one expects a birthday.
It
Just out of the blue, that one out of the blue. So yeah, that was meant to be the reality show. Refunds are happening, and if you haven't got your refund in a day or two, make sure you get in touch with the people who organised it. Our Tess was doing something for that. Pebble was doing something for it as well.
I've actually seen both Tess and Pebble's numbers because they posted them.
They were so good.
Amazing.
Right, can you hear me now?
She's on. Hi, Kit.
Hello.
Hi.
Fuck. All the way off. Can't be off. I think my camera, I don't know where I am. Hold on. I'm on. I'm on. Am I on?
She's on. You're on.
Oh.
Are you doing the thing where you're watching yourself on the iPad but trying to listen in live? Because that gets very confusing.
It's you know what? I'm gonna instigate another shot. Give me 1 second.
This is just going to be the whole live. It's just going to be in and out and then disappearing and then coming back.
It's one of those things where like you need to see yourself.
It's one of my favourite parts of doing a Tuesday.
It's
See myself. Everything's flipped, so you've got to point the wrong way when you're pointing at things. It takes so much time to get used to.
Why is it not working?
Gary has said, Kit, your hair looks beautiful.
I'm tempted to run away and swap it, so you need to do another shot.
This is the thing, because Gary's playing, he did send over the list earlier, so we have had a little bit of a look to see what they're having shots for.
It's all abuse.
So we're just going to keep winding them up and giving them things to do shots for. Right, so we've got the lovely Sush saying, I feel like some queens are opening up more on a personal level by being live at home alone, rather than relying on the front of being in front of crowds in public. It's nice. Do you agree, girls? Do you open up more on lives?
No. No, because I bounce off people. So I feel like I do better when someone's in front of me.
Is this meant to be double entendres? Is that I bounce off people, and it's better when someone's in front.
No, she's in one of them moods.
No, I think it's easier for me to kind of ramble a little bit when I'm doing a live, and it gets accidentally personal.
I think in a bar setting, you know, we've got alcohol, there's loud music, there's dancing. You don't want to stand and chat for like an hour. Whereas on a live, you know, there's none. Well, apart from we're all drinking, but there's not those kind of external factors, so you kind of do have better conversations, I think.
Yeah, it's like people do kind of. I think people have opened up a bit more on the Tuesdays. Absolutely, like if you'd said to me like a year ago that me and Plastique would be on the same screen, it would have been one of those moments where, really, but it was actually a really lovely chat. I won't mention her too much because I can see Kitana freezing in the corner. Kit, is there anyone on the Newcastle scene you haven't fallen out with? Speaking as someone who Kit did fall out with.
Ophelia.
It's a good list.
Rory. Danny D. Gloria.
So expensive. I love it.
I'm not gonna lie. Brain fart. I can't actually think of that many people.
Kit, do you think you get tarred with a brush? Because people everyone's had a little fallout with you at some point, really. Like, do you think you unfairly get judged for that?
No.
Do you think it's all me? I said that.
No, I feel like a lot of things is just fueled by gossip, for one, and secondly, my delivery is always off. Like, I could say something, but it 9 times out of 10, it sounds like I'm being a dick when I'm not intentionally being, if that makes sense.
I know that well.
Yeah. Like, there's a group chat that I do have, and Ray, who is
she's in here somewhere. She's in here somewhere.
She literally sits and translates, like, you know, she's not saying this, she actually means this.
Or like saying
yeah, literally that. And it's like, yeah, that's what I said. And it's like, you didn't.
Ray's backed you up here with Kitana. You say lovely things, but in the wrong tone.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like that's something that we'll get used to doing. I think we'll get used to your tone eventually. I hope other people do, because it's taken me a bit of time to get used to it. But now that I know your tone, I love you to bits. It's like, absolutely. Like, it's fun. It's fun. Like, she doesn't mean it. She does. She means every fucking word.
Like, it's...
but just not how it sounds.
Yeah, I never ever like intend anything with malice, but I am a bit too honest with the way that I word things and the words that I choose. So it does bite me in the arse quite a bit, but I also have that mentality where it's like, it's not the words that you're upset with, it's the way that you've taken it, which is, again, it's more of a case of like, that's on you, but it's something that I need to work on type thing.
Is it like, is it something you have worked on in lockdown, or is it something that this is very, I feel like I've just gone straight in with like really deep questions. I'm sorry. Like, is it something worked on during lockdown, or is it that we're going to have to put it with when we get back?
I feel a lot more like aware of who I am rather than trying to be whoever's in front of me, like their image. I'm aware who I am now, whereas before it was more of a case of like, what do they want to see?
Like, because you two are very much like a yin and yang when it comes to this, because like, Elle, I don't think you've ever fallen out with anyone, but I imagine you have some quite strong opinions.
Yeah, I think I haven't really properly fell out with anyone on the gay scene, I don't think. Like, obviously, me and Kitana have had discussions in the past, but like, you know, I always try to see the better in someone, which I'm not saying Kitana doesn't do that, because I think Kitana does do that. But I think it's hard once someone has a perception of you, it's hard to change that perception.
Absolutely.
Especially if someone doesn't want to change their viewpoint on someone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you don't give someone a chance to grow, they're never going to change in your eyes.
Yeah.
Which hopefully is something that people will have learned during lockdown. Because, you know,
I hope so.
We've all had time to reflect on ourselves, let alone other people. And hopefully people will go into the whole new world with a little bit of a kinder heart and take things with a pinch of salt.
You'd hope so.
Or at least have a shot. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those ones. Anyway, that's that out of the way because I just wanted to ask. That was just me asking. Took a long time to realize it. It was from a kind heart. I messaged her and like, Kit, that sounded harsh. Yeah, it goes in and apologizes in exactly the same tone. Sorry you were offended.
Sorry you feel
one of
that
my
way.
favorites. I'm sorry you felt that way about it. What I actually meant was this. Then offend them all over again. Gladys has got a question. That's a shot. Why do you what do you think of the culture surrounding fallouts in drag? Is it part of our culture to be falling out with each other? Is it a drama that people look for in drag?
I think if you're on a TV show, then yeah, but not in real life.
In Drag Race UK this week, we've had Lawrence and Ellie kind of clash heads a little bit.
Like, don't get me wrong, I know there is people who love the scene drama and go into a club and say like, oh, what did so and so say about, I know, XYZ down the road.
Yeah.
But we're not stood in a club watching it all unfold on stage. Usually.
I think we are kind of brought up with it. I think it's one of the things that's kind of instilled in Queens because a lot of the Newcastle scene, for one, is very close. It's very close. And we've got a lot of kind of gang warfare amongst the bars themselves, which does get instilled in their queens. You know, you are a yard girl or you're a Copenhagen queen or like, you know, you're one of those and it does get very much instilled in you that you get very protective over your little bubble.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that triggers a lot of people. Hopefully when we go back, we can have a big open scene where anyone can work anywhere because that would be so heavenly if Queens could just work what venue they're in that night and just get on with it.
Yeah.
That would be so good. What else do we got going on? Something. Do you think folks take stuff too seriously? Or do we need to deal with everything like we are on reality TV? Would you rather deal with it in quiet or would you rather reality TV it for the cameras?
I personally do things behind closed doors. I think if you have respect for someone, you don't want them to be cancelled or bullied or subject to hate from others that aren't involved within the argument itself.
Yeah.
And, you know, on Drag Race UK this week, we've seen the backlash of what can happen in terms of Lawrence's deleted Twitter.
Yeah, they've come off Twitter, haven't they, because of it?
Like, it's a TV show. Like, they're told to make the drama. We're not told to make the drama for the benefit of hunters in a club.
Like, I can safely say the drama was around before RuPaul. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
I can safely say that the Queens still had the dramas before RuPaul's Drag Race hit the UK and started being a thing. Like, we still had our little like turf wars and things, not turfs, but turf as in like areas wars. What about you, Kit? Do you think people take shit too seriously?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So whenever I see or hear or whatever, someone has a problem, I will ask them directly, and usually that again comes down to my tone, blows up, makes things worse. And I try now, like, actually, shall I speak about now or what I used to do?
Whichever you prefer. But like, cause obviously you've changed quite a lot. You have, I'm not going to say mellowed.
No, just more sure of myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What I used to do, it was a case of like, yeah, let's gossip. Yeah, let's twist this situation. Like, they've said this, I'm going to say this, but it needs attention. It needs fuel. Like, people need to know what I'm saying. And, you know, I was quite public with one or two people when I'd fallen out with them, making statuses. But now I'm at that point where someone's saying something, I'm like, I don't care. Like, you crack on. Like,
Absolutely.
if I've done something, I've upset you, you tell me. And I'll rectify those actions. I'll explain every action that I've done. But I'd rather not do it where you've got like 3 people, or online actually, because I found out recently that one of the last conversations I had with someone, they were screenshotting, sending it to other people, and I was like, that's gross. Just gross.
It's not
have a genuine, trying to have a genuine conversation and like sort of fix something. And like, when it's something that personal, like, you don't play with screenshots. And yeah, it got passed on, and I was just like, oh.
That does say a lot more about them than it does about you, though, because if they need validation from their friends to do the right thing, that's obviously not in their nature. Whereas you were being genuine with it. Yeah, we're in the same group chat. You know who I'm talking about, and it was really, really surprising. Actually, Ella told you about it as well. It was just really surprising because it did happen. It did happen like 2 years ago, I think. And I only just found out. So was it 2 years ago? Oh, it's coming up 2 years ago or something like that. And I only just found out. So I was like, you've been this fake to my face the entire time. Like, that's not cool. If you've got a problem, say it. Like, speak to me, but don't then snake about. Like, yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. Like, every time I've apologized to someone for something I've done, it's been a genuine apology. And I'd like it to be taken that way. If I found out that someone took my genuine apology and tried to manipulate it into more drama, I wouldn't be happy. I would not be happy.
I was not. And I've been a little bit like sitting on it for like a week, I think. But I can't speak to this person at the minute, so I'm not going to.
I don't think I know this. You'll have to message me afterwards.
She's on holiday apparently at the minute.
Oh.
So putting this question up before anything happened. So who does everyone want to win Drag Race season? I'm going to say 2. I'll say 2. Because that says season 3. We'll do season 2. Who's your favourite to win season 2?
Bimini.
Yeah, at the moment mine's Bimini. I was always Team Lawrence for the crown, but I think Bimini has shown more variety.
Yeah. Like, did you rate Bimini in the first few episodes, or did you think they were just going to come in and go out?
Yeah, I think maybe the lockdown break was really good for Bimini and her Drag Race journey.
No, I agree. I think Bimini came back into it completely re-energized.
Yeah.
They had in their head what the competition was, how it works. They'd kind of sat back and went, right, this is the process of how to win things, and actioned it.
They sort of came back as if it was All Stars.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, with that sort of like chill, be yourself, that type of thing, and it's stunning.
Yeah. Like, do you think you two would do that if you were on the show? Would you kind of be laid back, or would you be like frantic with everything?
I like to think that I'm laid back, but I'm not. So like, in some aspects I am really chilled and laid back, in other aspects like I stress myself crazy. But I think for me personally, I've not auditioned for any season of Drag Race, but if I were to audition and get on, I'd kind of just be thankful to be on.
Yeah.
Like everyone wants to win, but
as season 1 showed, winning isn't everything in the UK. Like, Bag of Chips has been on every TV show since.
Like, even Cheryl Hall, like, didn't win a badge at all, and like, she's just done Celebs Go Farming or whatever it's called.
Celebs Go Farming. She's had the Virgin Atlantic TV show, TV chat, adverts, and things like that. Like, she's worked since.
Blue's doing collaborations with like brands. I never thought Blue would do collaborations with like phone networks and stuff. It's so
The beautiful black and white one that they did the other day, it was stunning, and I can't even remember what that was for.
Black and white, was it?
Yeah, with the red, absolutely gorgeous. I can't remember what it was for, but it was a collaboration with a brand, and that's the sort of stuff that, like, if Queens can get more mainstream again in the UK, it's just opening doors for all of us.
I think especially now that BBC Three is coming back onto TV because of the success of
obviously, like, you've had Drag Race, you've had Fleabag and things like that have gone through. I think Killing Eve also was BBC Three.
I think so.
So like they've had some good shows, and they are bringing it back next January, I think it is.
Which technically should be in time for the new season of Drag Race.
Hopefully, I think that'll be one of their launching shows.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
And if we don't have the next series of Killing Eve at the same time, something's gone wrong. Amazing. If you haven't seen Killing Eve, watch it.
Guys.
Yeah.
Can I go change my wig because it's doing it then?
Go on then, lass. It's not like you didn't turn up late.
The thing is, I said this to Elle. I said, when was it? Was it last night or the night before? I was like, which wig? And she said, this one. And I was like, it's already doing my tits in. And she said, where's the other one? But I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Another shot for everyone.
Shot. Kids running off or something. Frida has said, cliques are toxic as fuck. Lucy Fur has said, Frida, shut up.
I think there's a difference between a clique and a friendship group.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a difference between being a friendship group and being a bunch of mean girls.
Yeah.
There's a fine line, isn't there?
It's a very delicate line, I think, because it can very easily turn one way or the other. Like I've seen like cliques turn into friends, and I've also seen them kind of go the other way, where it's just been like, oh, this is just work banter, and then all of a sudden, it's a gang. It's like it's very easy to do, and we all fall into the potholes of it.
You know, like part of the whole drag scene, especially in Newcastle, is not tearing people down to get one up, but it's very catty and bitchy because that's just what we do, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But when someone isn't taking it as a joke anymore and isn't seeing the funny side of it, that's maybe when you need to stop.
Yeah.
And I think some people maybe don't grasp that.
I do think Newcastle has been a slightly kinder scene in the past 2 years. I think we've kind of made a lot of mistakes in that. I'm not saying it was you, Elle. I'm not saying it was you, but it has been since you left. See, everyone thinks she's really nice. She's not. She's horrid. She's mean and nasty to everyone. But I think the whole group mentality of the scene has kind of, we've mellowed out a little bit. Yeah. Things like Drag Idol have actually brought us together.
Yeah, I think when I came onto the scene was 2016, so 4.5 years ago now, and a lot of the scene goers and a lot of the queens don't work on the scene anymore.
No,
apart from like the likes of you, Plastique, Rory, Gloria, Ophelia, Mother, kind of like the bigger names, I guess, kind of stuck around on the scene. No, I'm not being a dick about it. But like,
more experienced queens. I think.
That's the word. The queens who were, working every night, every week.
Yeah,
they've stuck around, which I think is the way it kind of should be, personally.
I think we already had enough to kind of keep ourselves going for a lot of us. Obviously, people like Mother constantly on tour, working non-stop.
Yeah, and I don't know, is it that Newcastle's become more accepting of newcomers recently?
I think for me, it has been since Gladys won Drag Idol. Yeah, there's been a whole kind of change of mentality where I think the older, more territorial queens may have gone, oh, actually, these young upstarts have got something. Yeah. And like, I don't know, respect the level that they're coming out at.
Yeah, I'm not an experienced kind of established queen in Newcastle or anything like that by any means, but I think did people just kind of think, well, give people more of a chance and get to know them? Whereas before it was very, like, it still is very territorial, but before it was like, you can't work here, like, this is my gig, this is my night in Rusty's or wherever it is. Have people maybe thought, you know what, actually I will get to know people before I discuss them?
I've had so much more fun getting to know the newcomers rather than when I looked at them and was like, okay, you're not going to get it. Like, you're not going to come and do anything with it. Like, people have genuinely put in the work now as well. They come into it expecting for it to be work rather than it to be a hobby.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time back in the day, people came into it and were like, oh, this is my hobby. This is what I'm going to do. Now we've got queens coming in looking at it as a career.
Yeah.
Like, not just queens, obviously, performers in general. They're coming into it as a career and they're going, I need to make money doing this. I need to treat it like a job. It's going to be my income.
Yeah.
And they're doing amazing things with it.
Oh my God, yeah. And again, speaking of like all the online stuff and things like that, I personally think that a lot of the really good, entertaining online stuff has been from newcomers from the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, again, I could be wrong, but I'm not seeing any more experienced Newcastle queens do any virtual stuff.
No.
It's maybe the only thing I've actually seen.
The past week, we've had a Bank Bar live and we've had a Tipsy Cow live. So we've had Ophelia, we've had Phyllis, we've had Vicky, we've had Lucy, all on the lives.
Yeah, and
it's been fantastic. Watching the seasoned professionals, I'll put it, doing what they do and entertaining people has been so refreshing. It might be a little late to the game with us going back in a month's time, hopefully. But it's better late than never. Like, so hopefully that's going to be a start of everyone doing a bit of online content. What's Lucy saying? Right, so my conspiracy is most queens have been on the bottom of the food chain in secondary or high school and want to be the mean girl of the class with their own clique. But there are so many of them, it more or less demoralizes the clique situation. Thoughts?
I agree to an extent. I think that it kind of depends where you grew up and went to school. I am not from Newcastle or a big city. I'm from really small village. So like, I think every gay kid still to this day experiences some kind of homophobia in school. But I wouldn't class myself as like bottom of the food chain in school. Like, I had a lot of friends, like I would be quite open-minded. Whereas I don't think that's the case in a lot of city schools, and I don't think it's the case in a lot of city schools still.
For me, I was very much bullied throughout school.
Yeah.
So being given the chance to be a bully might have taken it. Yeah. I probably have a couple times taken the opportunity.
I don't think it's people intentionally going out being like, well, I was bullied in school, I'm going to be a bully now.
No.
I think it's
What is this question, by the way?
Most of the queens in Newcastle have been kind of bottom of the food chain during school and have come into being queens, and that's where the cliques come from because they feel like they can have the mean girl mentality.
Not most, but I can think of a few. Like, how many? Like maybe 1, 2. But
the second I had the moment to kind of be a person, I was like, I'm going to do this to my full extent, and I rapidly learned. I was like, just got very, very close up there. I rapidly learned that's not the way to do it. That's not something you can do because it's not fun and it doesn't get you work and it doesn't enamor people to you at all. People can see a bully from a mile off and they recognize it. And because people were bullied at school, they don't want to be around that. They don't want to be the next victim.
No. I don't know, is it kind of, let's say 5-10 years ago, people would have found not bullying funny, but it would have been if the Queen was stood in the DJ box slagging people off the mic, it was funny.
Yeah.
It's not really funny now, is it? Do you know what I
It's
mean?
it's definitely developed into a way because I feel like being a not that I am one, but being a queen who is on the microphone and could rip into people very easily, it's definitely changed now because I have to make sure that the person I'm ripping into is very much in on the joke.
I was going to say it comes back to that thing where when it stops being funny for the person that's on the other end of it, that's when you've got to stop.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where it's changed in recent years. People have kind of thought, right, hold on, is this person laughing with the joke? Are the people that are laughing that aren't involved in the joke, are they laughing at the person or are they laughing at the joke? Because that's two very different things.
Absolutely.
I had a similar conversation.
Lucy's clarifying she didn't mean every queen with a friendship group. She was just speaking in general terms, just in case anyone's trying to cancel Lucy.
I had a conversation with a friend, Tony the Doll.
Yes.
Yesterday or
Weeks
the day
time
before.
show.
And they told me when they entered Drag Idol, they were brand new. They asked a queen, what can I do to get better? Like, where do I look? Who do I speak to? What, like, references, all that type of thing. And they said, oh, yeah, I'll answer in 2 seconds. This person went on the mic and said, you can be a better queen by being more like Jasmine Dick. And it was like, how was that supposed to help anyone?
I mean, Jasmine is the queen of queens.
Not wrong.
Oh, no, absolutely. However, it was more of a case of like, embarrass this person type thing.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like shitty.
I like when people come up to me and say, like, I'm thinking about doing drag, have you got any advice? My advice is always
Do it.
don't.
Oh.
Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Do not do it. Like, no. What advice do you give to new up and coming performers who ask advice?
Al?
I'll go first. I personally think, like, again, I drag is a big thing to do. Like, people just think it's putting on a bit of makeup, but like, you've got to shave, you've got to, well, some people don't, but for us, you've got to shave, you've got to do the whole works, which for me is the biggest. Like, I'm lazy as a person, so I'm like, oh, the thought of getting
you what?
I know. But like,
Who told you that?
If you want to do it, just go and do it. Like, I think you best learn through practice.
Yeah.
So like, it's pointless going up to someone and being like, "Can you tell me how to do this?" Because they'll tell you, but you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What about you, Kate? What advice do you give to?
I would say that everyone needs to experience drag once because it brings out something that people don't know that they've got there. Like, Absolutely. It brings out this whole new character persona. It might even be more them than what they are. So I would say, like, do it, but as open as you are to all the like attention and compliments, hand in hand comes with all the nasty shit. So just be prepared type thing. Like, it doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter if you can do the splits or not. Just be sure of yourself and whatever you deliver, you're happy with and you're comfortable with. Just, that sort of like that type of conversation.
Yeah. Do you think people do go into it without expecting to have the thick skin of a performer?
1,000%.
Yeah,
because everyone now gets compared to like Ru girls. So someone comes out, they're not really understanding makeup. Instantly, it's like, oh, you could be so much prettier if you looked like insert Ru girl. Which
people do that.
Yeah, all the time. I get that a lot. Like, if you just tried a little harder, Penny, and I'm like, 17 years. 17 years have been doing this. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah, no, I still get people being like, oh my God, you could be so pretty if you just painted like so-and-so. And I'm like...
how old are you again?
How old am I? 23.
You were 5.
I don't like this game.
See, again, my delivery...
Because I genuinely don't feel like I've been doing it as long as I have. Like, I feel like because every time I have a break, I come back and start again. And it's like, I'm literally 2 months old again. Like, I'm back in with a whole new setup. trying something new and not knowing if it's going to work. And that's the joy of it. Like, I haven't just gone back to doing karaoke Tuesdays. It's all about reinvention, and you can reinvent yourself as many times as you want with drag. All it takes is changing a wig color and doing something slightly different. Like, you don't have to get in the bubble. And I've only just learned this. I've only just learned. Like, it says me wearing a wig based on every wig I've ever had.
That is stunning, that wig, though. I love it.
It's lovely. It's a Gary. It's courtesy of Sean, so I do appreciate it.
Gary has done one similar for me. Shall I go get it? Hold on, another shot.
Another shot. I've run out. I've officially run out now. That's me.
Oh,
Nick, you drink then?
I was going to buy a... Dear, she's on the wine, no. I was going to buy another bottle of banana sambuca, and I'm very glad I didn't with the shop game tonight. What else have we got going on? What opinions do you guys have on queens trying to emulate the queen's style and makeup? Ooh, from Misty Lee, the lovely Misty Lee there. What do you think, Elle? What do you think of carbon copy queens?
I think that you should always try and do what you want to do, not because someone else has done it, but because you want to do it. Oh, that's pretty.
She's also a Gary.
That's the mother-daughter moment that's going to happen in Heavens, isn't it?
Literally when we don't expect it, and it's like,
have you come dressed as me again?
No, I'm just falling apart right now. What was the question, sorry?
What do you think of queens trying to emulate the queen's style and makeup? Sorry, Al, we just spoke right over you there.
Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, no.
I think that by emulate, if you mean literally copy, like, as in, if I went out tomorrow and went, oh, do you know what, I'm going to literally wear graffiti blazer, red ponytail, and blue eyeshadow.
Like painting like the queen, having the same sort of lines, like that sort of...
Like, if you're doing it to try and steal someone's look or whatever, then maybe don't do that. It's not great. But, like, if you're doing... There's a difference between being inspired by and taking and copying.
Yeah.
So, like, if I said to you, oh, okay, I love the wig, where did you get it? Like, I'm thinking of doing a similar one, a different colour kind of thing. And Kit goes, oh, it's X, Y, Z. That's different to me going to another wig designer and saying, here's a picture, give me this.
Yeah. Well, like Kit's just shown, like we can both have blonde wigs with the black streak in the front. And it can be so personal to each of us. Like, this is iconic Penny. This is classic Penny. Yeah. And Kit's is very Kit.
Yeah.
Like, that's a way forward. If we're allowed to take inspiration. We're all allowed to take inspiration.
Yes.
But we have to be inspired to do something with it.
I feel like it's very rare to see like a queen or performer like king. I don't want to miss anyone, so I'm just going to say drag performer. I think it's very rare to see someone that's so unique in their aesthetic because everyone's done everything. Like literally everyone has done everything.
Truly unique. I don't think there is personally.
No.
I think there's still time for things to be discovered. I think there's still people
like
who will be the bag and will be like, oh my god, why has no one thought of this?
Like one of the last performers I've seen was who was that unique was Hungry.
Yeah.
Like their makeup is quintessential them type thing. But everyone wants to be a pretty girl at the minute. Like, well, not at the minute, but everyone aims to be a pretty girl.
Danny Delanco, thank you, but no thank you, sweetheart. Honestly, I can't be getting Sambuca delivered to my house. It's not a thing. But I do appreciate it. Thanks, pet.
Oh, actually, Danny, you can pick up your stuff because I didn't use it. Got the backdrop, got the lights, got everything, and then I was like, actually, I can't be asked. So, didn't bother.
Gladys has just said, did Penny just confirm her return to Heavens? There's no confirming anything here. I don't know what's happening with me as much as you know what's happening with me. No one has a clue what's going on anymore. No one
Penny,
knows.
Are you going to be there tomorrow?
I am popping in tomorrow, yes.
Yes. I'll see you. I've got some questions that, like, because people are asking me certain things, and I'm like, how do you know this?
Who can say?
Who can say?
what else have we got going on? Finn, the lovely Finn, has asked, do you believe in a drag house or family should be having a similar style and aesthetic, or is it more about being supportive and elevating each other's drag within your drag house or family? Because you two got linked together for a long time. You two were very much like the fire one and the not fire one.
Yeah, so like we did, like we started in Central about the same time, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then, like we didn't know each other before Central. We just became like friends after Central. And obviously we both worked there for quite a while, kind of thing. And then both did Drag Idol at the same time. So we were both the Central Shot Girls, both the Central Drag Idol contestants. We both wore blonde hair quite a bit. And I think that's kind of how it came about. And like obviously like we were together all the time.
Literally like glued at the hip.
Glued at the hip.
Like, but did you see it as like, did you lift each other up, or was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, 1,000%.
Was any similar that lumped you together as well?
Any drag performer, like I try to hype every single person up. That's not me like come to my house, come to my family. I feel like that's just what you should be doing. If they've got enough confidence to actually like leave the house, I don't know who stood in front of me and what they're going through. So they put in drag, maybe it's an escape, whatever. My instant reaction is stunning, yes, blah, 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 that type of thing. But drag family wise, I feel like families are more abusive than they are. No, I'm taking the piss.
I've obviously got my drag sister, Tuppence Arcade, who is my biological brother. So that's like the only family I have in drag. And
no, you've got the odd lot. Like we're all drag family.
Like yeah, but it's not like a house or a family. It's not like the House of Aja, for example, with Candy. Like they have a slightly similar aesthetic.
I think it maybe comes down to, you might start a house or a clique or a friendship or whatever and not look alike at all. You might just be there for support. But if you're spending that much time together and doing that many things together, it probably does start to rub off.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing the same show and someone's like, oh, I'm going to wear neon. Do you want to wear neon as well? Or whatever. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of maybe when things start to...
I just turn up in a neon yellow and Kitana copies, so...
No. So I'll think of something. It's like, no one's going to be wearing this or anything very similar, neon yellow. Walk into the bar and there's Penny already stood there like... It's completely off chance. I love doing it though.
I love our matches. But do you think if you had like a drag house, do you think if the ball scene was more prominent in the UK, the ballroom scene, do you think it would be more house based?
Yes.
I don't know, potentially. I think I've experienced drag houses in Ireland, but not in the UK. I don't think. But again, drag houses here is just support. It's not a case of like we're all.
Well, one of the biggest houses I would say would be the House of Kendalls, and they are like pretty much identical the way they look. They're always like similar costumes, very very similar makeup, like that type of thing.
Like the Children of the Corn.
And I do feel like if there was a bigger ball scene, that would happen.
But then would you win the trophies? Would you, if everyone was the same? Like, surely in a house you need a little bit of everything.
Aesthetically,
time in drag, you need the polished pageant queen. In a house, you need a little bit of everything to make it a house.
But you could do that with the same face on every single person.
Yeah, I suppose you could.
So, like take the face and then pageant, big hair, gown. Then next person, dancer, doesn't need much to wear because they need to be flexible. Next person, femme fatale or whatever. Like, that's what I feel like anyway.
Finn says, the House of Kendalls is what I had in mind when I asked the question. Because don't get me wrong, they are absolutely beautiful. But they all look like gothy.
I personally think, I think Gothy's makeup is amazing. I think she's a stunning queen. And it's the same with the likes of, you know, I think a lot of the comments from maybe more experienced drag queens and people that don't even do drag is, oh, all new queens look the same, they've all got the same makeup, blah, 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 which may be true. But then I think, like, they look amazing, don't get me wrong, but I'd be more impressed with someone who looks different.
Yeah.
Like, I'm less impressed. Like, if you can do makeup amazingly and look the same as everyone, you know, brilliant, like, you look amazing, but I'd be more impressed by someone who could do something that I've not seen before.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people got you two confused very early on, but you did very much have your own personalities from the get-go. You, like...
I don't think you look that alike.
I don't think you do either. I don't think you do. I think it was the first time that we'd had two femme presenting queens in the same competition, because you both went for like a very minimal outfit, is how I'm going to put it.
Yeah.
and were stunning in the face. It was the first time we'd had that in the same competition at the same time. And I think people did lump you together because obviously Kitana did the fire act. And Elle, you were there too. Does it upset you that you weren't like and you're this one? Whereas like,
no. And like me and Kitana, you know, were really good friends at the time. So
at the time,
yeah, you know, no, but do you know what I mean? Like at the time we were attached at the hip, kind of. Do you know what I mean? And personally, I'm not ever going to be the kind of person who's like belittling or jealous of a friend for doing well. I'd always want to see my friends and family and things do well.
Yeah.
So, you know, like if I'd gone home week one, I still would have been at the front row every week supporting Kitana.
Yeah.
Like, and Danny and Plot, like everyone that I was friends with, I would have been there supporting.
Yeah.
Like, that was my very, very first time on stage. And Elle made sure she was like right at the front. Like she probably would have been the first to die if anything fucked up, but she was right there. And got on stage and I was shaking. I was literally like, everything was just shaking. Looked at Elle and she was like, it sort of like just sort of went type thing. And I feel like that connection, it's not so much like based on our aesthetics or our comparisons. It was just we gel as people, and because we again bounced off like each other, I feel like that was the comparison, like, and the mix-up type thing, because it was like you're both pretty, you're both blonde, you've both got red lips and thick eyeliner, but do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I completely get. Like, I think it's the one time where the public has lumped together two people that actually get along.
Yeah.
Like normally we'll see people be like, "Oh, we need to put this one with that one," and it's just not a thing. It's not ever going to happen. The fact that you two were friends before Drag Idol,
like I think for the first time we met was New Year's Eve before Drag Idol, and then Drag Idol was the February, so we'd only known each other for a month. Was it like 4? It was between 4 and 6 weeks.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't New Year's Eve. You were wearing white hair when I first met you in Central.
Oh, but we weren't naive.
Well, that must have been December 17th.
It was very, very like close to it, but we became friends like sort of online first.
We were in a group chat.
Yeah, and then
New Year's Eve properly.
And then literally just sort of like, boom.
Kit still got screenshots from that group chat as well. So
I went back and I've got like literally I started screen recording the entire.
I was gonna say the best way is to screen record and just scroll.
Literally, that's all I did.
Jack says, as if that was your first time you went on stage, Kit, you were meant to use both were, to be honest.
Stop flirting.
Look at that. He also says, love Elle, hate Kit.
Stop flirting. Rude.
Kevin says, are you okay with being in the DJ booth every night, or do you feel the need to be more performance-based drag on the scene? Like, Kit, you don't tend to DJ, but you are still very present.
Yeah, I don't really like it. I've done a couple of shifts, even like in the yard covering, where like I still know everyone, but I sort of like, I need to move. I need to face to face. I need that type of connection with people. Whereas if I'm on the stage, hi, I get very bored.
Yeah.
So like me, I would prefer to like run around, say hello to everyone. Maybe like I feel like the scene needs more performers anyway, like more performance, not performers.
Absolutely.
We need a platform to perform, and then come off stage and have that like talk with people type thing. Whereas if you're being a DJ, you've got a mic, you don't really get that.
I agree. Elle, do you DJ, or are you more of a walk around the be present sort of host?
I did both at different times and things in Newcastle and different places. And I personally, I think in Newcastle, for whatever reason, there's a big thing where it's like you have to be a DJ, and once you're a DJ, you've made it. And I don't think that's the case.
It's very much a mentality that we had because that was the only work that was going.
Yeah, and like me and Kit both started as shot girls. You know, shot girls were, I'm saying shot girl, it was like drag shots. I don't know if different times of drag do shots in Newcastle now, or I've obviously not been for a while. But at the time,
the shot girls definitely had a revolution in themselves. Like the shot girls now are doing so much better than the hosts.
Yeah, and like there's nights, I think, for both of us. You know, if we're in it for the money and it's a wage at the end of the day, I was making more money off shots than I was DJing.
Yeah.
So, and it was like a free night out, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Literally
it's still a thing. I don't know if it's something that's going to get looked into when we get back, but the shot girls have definitely got the ability to make an amazing amount of money. If you're watching and you're not from Newcastle, a lot of the shot girls are commission based. The harder they work, the more they get paid.
I was making almost off 2 shot shifts a week the same as my boy wage.
Yeah. And as a host DJ, you're on a set wage. You get that per night. That's what you get. That's your lot. No matter how busy or quiet it is, that's your lot. It's something that could be looked into.
Yeah.
This all goes back.
I think, like, obviously I did Sunday Night Live from the start until I left, kind of thing. Which is, Sunday Night Live is great, and like whenever I'm back, like if it's on, I'll always go, or if I'm asked to be part of it, I'll happily be part of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not saying this about Sunday Night Live, I just mean in general, I think we as performers always want a place to perform. However, I don't think the majority of the scene goers and people who go out on the scene want to see a performance.
It's a difficult thing because for years I've had just uncorking my wine because it's got a glass cork. It's got a glass cork. I love it.
Fancy.
Oh, she's fancy tonight. She's not on the straw hat. For years on the scene, people were shouting at us, going, "Bring cabaret back! Bring cabaret back!" And every time we tried to do a cabaret night, people would turn up. It would be the queens and their supporters, like their immediate friends, family, whoever turned up to do it. And we've tried every different way of doing it, and the customers just do not turn up.
No,
even though they're demanding that we do it.
I feel like because of Drag Race now, it will be different. I feel like it would be so different. I feel like if there was like, okay, performance from 9 until 11 in Heavens, maybe, they would go. They would instantly go. Like on a Friday, Saturday, instantly be there, screaming, all that type of shit. Whereas now when there's like performance chances, it's like on a Monday at 8 o'clock. Which, who goes out on a Monday?
I do. I go out on Monday. Do you think if it was more accessible, if it was more the Friday, Saturday nights, more people would turn up for it? Or do you think more people would turn up because it was Friday, Saturday nights?
Yeah, there'd be more people there because it's Friday and Saturday night. Whether they're there to watch a show or not because they want to go to a show is a different question.
Would you have more people turning around going, "Where's the music? I just want a DJ"?
Yeah.
Not if I was performing.
If I'm going to a drag show, I'm going to the show. If I'm going for a night out, I want to go for a night out. Like, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Like I like the vault. I don't even know if it's still called the vault in the bank on a Monday with Anamorphic on a Monday in the bank bar. Cabaret I think it's once a month now, and they always had a theme and it was always fantastic. And I went to the Raining Men night where it was all drag kings.
Yeah,
And
I went.
I had such a blast. It was so nice to see on stage cabaret. And someone else every 15, 20 minutes. It was such a good night.
Yeah.
And I made it to, I think I only made it to one Sunday Night Live because it's a little late for me, Sunday Night Live.
Yeah.
I'm in bed by 4.
I think it's tricky as well because if we're saying we want more cabaret performance, I mean, I know I don't live on the Newcastle scene anymore, so like, I don't know, it's my opinion kind of.
It hasn't changed that much.
If people want more cabaret on the scene, is it a case of it's just the scene regulars that are going to go to it, or is it the outside? Because, in my opinion, if people want to see cabaret for a hen do, stag do, birthday party, we go to Boulevard.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for
you. In that way, because Boulevard does take away that whole level of like, we're only here for a hen party. So when we do get a cabaret night on scene, and it's only been advertised to the LGBTQ community and their friends, it's the people who want to see it.
Yeah.
I have a question for Elle.
Hi.
First, I'm going to say, hi, Amber, I've just noticed. Yeah, so my question, because you've now left the scene, like left Newcastle, have you noticed it's usually the exact same people doing the exact same performances and the exact same things, which is questionable why people don't want to see because it's the same shit? Okay, so I'm going to use Sunday Night Live as the example because that's what I was used to for performance-wise. For Sunday Night Live, I don't know if people know that. Like, I love Sunday Night Live, and I would hope, and I still think it will be around when things reopen. We were given a theme every month. So the one I left on was Disney. So we all did a Disney number. And it's up to each performer to do what they want with that theme. Me personally, like whatever I do in drag is always going to be me because
that's you.
What I do. However, I think some people maybe will try to adapt things to only suit just themselves. Yeah, a week. We do need a week. But like, if you're gonna just do the same thing, the same kind of track, in the same outfit to the same crowds over and over again,
from the same person,
people are gonna get bored.
Yeah,
eventually.
I think as someone who's tried to organise cabaret nights, you only get the same participants. You only get the same people throwing their name in the hat. You only get so many people saying, I can do this, I will do this, and turning up. You get people who say they can do it and then don't turn up. You'll get people who say they can't do it when they very much can. And you do get stuck with such a small selection of people that can do both. They'll say they can turn up and they'll turn up. It doesn't matter how they deliver, because if they're on stage, they're delivering something.
Yeah, Penny, do you think if you did that now and tried to organise something now, because there's that many people who want the face on the scene, do you feel like you'd still get that reception?
Experience. I think we'd still have the same struggle because people would be like, oh, I haven't got my number ready. Oh, I haven't done this. I haven't prioritised my job.
I think, again, I've not been to Newcastle in a long time now, but the age-old thing in Newcastle was, oh, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just do my old whatever mix. And if you've seen it 10 times, you don't want to see it an 11th time.
It's like it would be very easy for me to pull out the same numbers again. Like the muscle memory that I've got is just there. It's not fun for people to watch it again.
Fine, but not the same crowd.
But if there's a theme to the night, you've got to admit, a theme to a night really adds something, like the Sunday Night Lives.
Yeah.
Like, it might be a similar ideaed number that happens,
Yeah.
but it's never the same number. Like,
well, it depends. I don't know.
There's only so much people can do at the end of the day.
I totally agree there as well. Yeah.
Like,
What's your opinion, both of you two, on repeating numbers?
Oh, I will work a number until it's dead.
I repeat numbers, but I try not to do it to the same crowd.
Yeah. So say you were in Ireland, then in Newcastle.
Oh, like I've done numbers here that I've done back home, but they've never seen before.
But if, say, you were in Newcastle for 2 weeks, you did it 1 week, had a gap, and then another week, would you do it again? Just in case it was a different crowd?
Like the exact same number week after week? No.
No, actually, not week after week. Say you waited a month, maybe.
No.
Like I
personally not.
When I've done my shows on the social club circuit, I've taken the one show on two around all of them.
Yeah.
And then I've done the second show on two around all of them. And then I might have gone back to the first show, but they booked me 3 times and I'm not doing 3 shows. Like, how much room do you think I have? No.
I remember seeing you and Dixie in Boulevard.
Someone was there. Oh my god.
I loved it. I thought it was great. But, I assume you would have done that show in different cities or towns.
Oh, absolutely. That show would be around.
The show format. Like, let's say Testicle, for example, who was doing, shows left, right, and centre around the UK.
Literally every weekend when the bars are open.
Change the numbers every week.
Yeah.
But then if I went to a Testicle show, I'm not saying this is just Testicle, but any drag performer, if I went January this year and went January next year and it was the exact same thing, I probably wouldn't go the third time.
Yeah. You'd be pissed.
See, which is why we saved the first show for the third time, because they'd already bought the ticket.
The Boulevard Halloween.
We know this, but we enjoyed it. We'll sit through it. It's fine.
The Boulevard Halloween show changes every year. Like, it might have the same themes. It might always do Wicked, but it'll be a different.
There's only so much Halloween goes around.
Yeah. But
they do still mix it up every year. Like, you never know how the numbers are going to sit. You never know which numbers they've changed up the whole choreography for.
Yeah.
They, like Boulevard, I will give them props. They deliver every show. Every single show.
Yes.
And I will say, in Danny and Rory's defense, it has been getting better and better and better as the shows go on, which is something that I didn't think was possible. Like, they came in at such a high level, and they have been stepping it up every single time they've delivered a show.
Does that come down to, as well, if we're saying we want cabaret on the scene, are people expected to match Boulevard?
How many people paid for tickets to Boulevard?
I feel like I might, this might bite me in the ass, but I feel like when we all perform, it is matching Boulevard. They're professional dancers. They have all this experience behind them. However, we have the what's the right word? We have the drive to actually want to do it. Like, we want to deliver something amazing. So there's more opportunities type thing. So we get noticed and we can be like, right, you're going to get picked because of that number, that type of thing. I feel like with that entertainment value, we do match them.
I think, personally speaking, whenever there's a drag cabaret night or any kind of drag night in Newcastle where there's lots of different people there, it's always the queens and kings and performers supporting each other rather than...
I'll remind you of my Halloween, my cabaret night.
In Newcastle?
Yeah, the charity one.
I was there.
Yeah, I know, but how, think of how many people were there.
So if we use that as an example, I don't know, I guess...
Who was the crowd for this night? Was it mostly performers or was it a lot of just customers?
Bank bar was full, like
Yeah.
literally full. Like there was, I can't remember how many performers. I think there was maybe 10, but it was literally full, like from stage to entrance. Just
Yeah.
everyone came.
Again, I am playing devil's advocate here, but if it
Oh,
wasn't
my.
a charity night, would there still be? Do you know what I mean?
But we have done charity nights. Example, like when we first started, and there was one in Central, and it was a charity night. It wasn't busy. It was the same amount of people as in
I
other
remember
nights.
the charity night in Central where I fell off the stage and ripped the stage off.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
I thought that was grand.
No, you could move around freely. Like it wasn't a case of like
stages, but again, it was during the day as well.
it was a long day.
It was a very long day.
Yeah.
I still have a scar from that.
We've got Jonathan Stokoe saying, do you know what? I'd rather go to a bar with a drag queen playing music and having main banter than having good chemistry with the punters than go to a cabaret show. Do you think that's increasing? Do you think more people are willing to go to a bar just for the music? Do you think that's because there's been less cabaret?
I think it comes down to, again, like if I want to go for a night out, I want to go for a night out.
Yeah.
If I want to go see a show, I'll go for a show.
But saying that, Elle, if you were going for a night out and there was performance in Bank Bar,
yeah,
would you not just purposely avoid Bank Bar?
Well, yeah.
So it's not a case of like there's only two places to go in the entire thing.
That is fair enough.
Yeah.
It depends where the show is going to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you can,
I feel like in the yard, because there's upstairs and downstairs, like there's perfect chance. If you want to go to the yard and have a drink and chill, stay downstairs. If you want to see a show, go upstairs.
Yeah. Like I remember when I first started going out in Newcastle, would have been my first gay night in Newcastle would have been 2016, towards the end of it.
Yeah.
Were you old enough?
Yes, of course I was. No, I wasn't.
Sorry.
Heavens wasn't open. So, I never actually experienced Heavens until I worked in the yard the year I left. Obviously, it wasn't open. But, it's such a good space, and it's a shame that it's maybe not used as well as it could be. And I'm not saying that's because of any fault of the yard at all, but it's kind of that thing that costs money to keep a venue open or a floor open. If people aren't actively looking and saying they want cabaret entrance in Newcastle, it's not going to happen.
Hopefully, in the future, Heavens can be utilised a lot more. If I get my own way, Heavens will be so much it's a multifaceted venue. It's a big open space that can have absolutely anything happen.
It's so good.
And hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get some more stuff up there. But we don't know what's going to happen. We're very much in a place where the future's unwritten, and we've just got to see what rules we're given.
Yeah.
Franny has said, I'd want to go somewhere with a DJ for pre-drinks, then see a show, then ruin my life in a club. This is what we used to have in Newcastle. We used to have the pre-drink bars and a bit of a circuit. So we'd end up at Rusty's for cabaret sometimes at 9 o'clock. So we'd be out early. We'd be out 7-ish, 8-ish. Couple pre-drinks, bottle of wine in the yard. Then we'd go to Rusty's for 9. Cabaret starts 9:30. Everyone knows it. We'll pretend it starts at 9. We'll be there for half an hour. We'll have a couple drinks. Watch Rusty on stage doing her cabaret. Then we'll mince off to Powerhouse after that. And it was high camp. Did you girls have the same experience of a route, or was it just this bar's doing this?
When I left Newcastle, it was always pre-drinks at home. Then you'd go to the yard for a bottle of wine, and the yard has a lovely atmosphere compared to a lot of bars in Newcastle, I think.
Thank you.
So
you're never there. You always turn up late. I don't know why.
I'd do
Lebanon's due any minute now.
Yard. Then I'd go to Bank Bar because it's en route. I love Switch personally, but I think not to sound big-headed, but it's because of my age. I like Switch. Like Switch is like very young, kind of
Thanks.
drink loads of EKs. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, but I know people that wouldn't go into Switch because I'm not mixing with the students, which is fair enough because students can be annoying. But do you know what I mean?
Switch is the old Powerhouse.
Yeah,
mainly
it's Powerhouse.
It's Powerhouse Light. It's Powerhouse. It's pre-Powerhouse.
No, I'm saying that to Penny in the sense of like before Powerhouse became what it is now, because what it is now is
absolutely not, absolutely not.
Like,
Powerhouse
not like
Square.
not the gears. Like
times where I would hear Santa Maria at top volume in Powerhouse in Times Square, and I would be off my nut on poppers, and it would be amazing. And like we played the campus tunes in the old Powerhouse that would never get played, even when Chris Howe was working. They would never get played. Like Helen Shapiro, Walking Back to Happiness, in a club environment is amazing. And it will never happen nowadays. Honestly, we were the campus clubbers.
I think the scene has changed so much from even when I was like first going out. So like, I would always go to the bank to see you because you play Venga Boys, and I love Venga Boys. Nowhere else would play Venga Boys. It just
look at them now, everywhere.
Kitana's going to make a joke. I remember my first actually night out in Newcastle on the gay scene. I went with Kieran Thomas, and he took me to Bank Bar to see you play Venga Boys. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think, and maybe it's because times have changed and people want like art music in the club now rather than camp. I don't know. Like I always love camp if I'm really drunk. I think it's great, but maybe a lot of people don't think that anymore, which is a shame.
I just want to explain what I meant by Switch. It's now where all the straight people go, mixed with gay people. That's what Powerhouse used to be to me. Like when I first started, it was like mainly straights, but still gays. Now Powerhouse is all straights. Like literally, it's rare to find a gay in there. So Switch to me, when I think of Switch, I think of majority straight, but a couple of gays still go there, which is what, say 2018. That's what Powerhouse was like. That's the comparison I meant.
See, I don't know the new Powerhouse because the only times I ever go in there is when I've been out for at least 7 hours beforehand, and my friends managed to get me through the door. My friends will literally have to drag me through the door to Powerhouse and be like, "Look, come in, come through," and I'm just like,
See, like I love Power. I've only been to Powerhouse a few times. I went once for Sasha Law from Drag Race. Literally couldn't see the show because the stars were so far away.
That was my favorite nights out.
I was so drunk that night.
Like me going to Powerhouse is purely because I expect straight people to be there now.
Okay.
And if I finish work and I need to let my hair down, I don't want to be around a toxic masculinity moment.
Fair enough, yeah.
If I still have a face on.
Yeah.
And there has been times when I have finished work and been like, I'm ready to go now, and I will just, this is it. But when I get in there and I'm buying my 2 VKs, because I do drink VKs, sometimes.
Can't relate.
I buy them and I'll go, can I have 2 double vodkas, please? Thank you. Cheers. There's been times where I felt so uncomfortable in there. But the old Powerhouse, the Times, I'll say the Times Squares one, that was it was so welcoming to everyone, and I wish that vibe was still a thing that you could experience.
Where?
It used to be where Digital is.
Did it?
Yeah, it was so fun. I was a glass collector there, and it was amazing. It was like
I've been to Digi once when I was a student, and I hated it. And the only nights out, I've only had 2 nights out in Powerhouse. One was Sasha Velour. I was really drunk, and it was like, if you go to see Sasha Velour at Powerhouse, you'd assume it's all LGBTQ plus or ally.
Yeah.
attendees. The other night was last time I visited. I went with Michael March, and it was a student night, and I literally cannot tell you anything about the night after walking in the front door and then waking up somewhere
Those
else.
cheap vacays.
She had three. She went wild. She even mixed the flavors because she wanted to get drunk quicker.
I mixed
No. What flavors did you mix?
probably like something stupid, like watermelon and passion fruit.
Lovely. We'll go for a complete vibe swap right now. Frida is asking, I don't know if this has been discussed, but what did everyone think of the Oprah interview with Harry and Meghan?
I've not seen it.
I have very strong opinions on this.
Go on, bitch.
I haven't seen it either, to be fair. So
I've not watched the full 2 hours, to be honest, but I've seen the highlights. I've seen the press around it. I've seen a lot of Irish press around it and Irish opinions on it. And I think, do I think the Queen is a racist? No, I don't. However, do I think there's a lot of racism, systematic racism, and things like that within the royal family? Yeah. When she said they were questioning the colour of the baby's skin, I can fully imagine certain members of the royal family sat there going, well, what if the baby's black? And I think, I actually put up my Instagram stories today my opinion on Good Morning Britain's coverage.
Oh, Piers has quit. Piers is officially no longer. He is no longer on Good Morning Britain. It's taken a goddess like Meghan to kind of get rid of Piers.
It was an absolute travesty. Regardless of your Team Meghan, Team Royals, or indifferent, the way the press have handled this and the way Piers Morgan has, bullied
everyone,
is appalling.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the Instagram thing, so the Good Morning Britain official Instagram account posted 2 posts covering their coverage on it. One was Meghan Markle's father, who,
said it was all bullshit, basically.
Estranged from it. Doesn't speak to us, saying the royal family aren't racist.
He actually said, at least I didn't dress up like Hitler.
Yeah, totally just diminishing what she'd said in the interview. And then the next post was a black author who unfortunately was given the narrative of angry black woman. And, they showed Meghan Markle's father being like, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. The next one was this really powerful black woman saying to Piers why he couldn't really make any valid points on it because he's not experienced racism in the UK as a white man.
He hasn't spoken to them in months.
Well, yeah. Even that, we're saying, oh, the royal family aren't racist, blah, 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 Britain's not a racist country. And then the media are literally showing black people in this angry, aggressive light and Meghan Markle's father in oh, it's fine, don't worry, brush it off.
And we've got everyone in the comments saying, was he sacked or quit? I think he's more advised to leave. I don't know. I'm just going on the same news sources that you are.
What I
think has happened, in my opinion, is he's probably turned around and said, well, it's either Alex or me. And people have gone, we'll keep Alex.
I know the head of ITV, Dame, I can't remember her name, she's a Dame anyway, she'd made a statement today basically saying we're addressing people's concerns.
Concerns, the hot word at the minute as well.
He walked off set and said, I'm not being part of this anymore when he got challenged. Like, it's his job to sit there and give the news.
Probably on Facebook, we've all seen the Mean Girls meme going around it. So you walked off. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable in the environment. So you agree it's fine to walk off then? I love a little bit of gag in my mornings. But this shit, Piers Morgan, we all thought he was never going to leave.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden.
Again, I'm relating this back to Ireland, and I know, obviously everyone else is in the UK. I'm not going to get into too much detail about it, but we've had an issue here to do with cultural appropriation recently. And regardless of what anyone's opinion on cultural appropriation is, some of the conversations I've had with people have been that cultural appropriation doesn't exist in Ireland or the UK, just America. That racism's not a thing in Ireland or Britain, just America. Systematic racism's not a thing in Britain or Ireland, just America. And then taking those conversations further about, like I'm big on, like I respect everyone's opinion and I'll always listen to an opinion. But I love education, I love school, I love learning new things. And when I was having conversations with cis gay men here in their 30s about things like non-binary, trans, they literally laughed and went, "That's not a thing, you've just made that up."
As someone in their 30s, as a non-binary person, it's a real fucking thing.
It's crazy.
It's a real thing.
They were like, what's a they them pronoun? It's he or she, and if you're born this, you're born that. And I was like, oh my god, like I think it's crazy. And I'm not saying that's the UK, that could just be Ireland, but
I do think, like, at the minute we've had a lot of press about a lot of different things, and they're all kind of funneling it towards one thing, and I don't know what we're heading towards. But this might sound like a conspiracy theory. They are pressuring us to group together. Like, we have to be ourselves and be in every group that we're part of.
Yeah, it's always a case of, again, I'm not saying that within the LGBTQ plus acronym that gay people are innocent in this, because I do think, personally speaking, from my experience, a lot of gay men are like so biphobic or transphobic or non-binary phobic, and
entitled.
I just don't get it. Yeah, like
entitled.
And it's, again, whether people like this or not, it always seems to be the cis gay white men who are like, "Oh, you're either gay or you're straight. There's no in between." Or there's.
This week we've had all the accusations about Raven, and I was going to bring it up with you girls, but then I realised that we're three white people talking about catfishing, and it's not something we can talk about. Can
we speak about a certain post that was made? Like without bringing them into it, I don't want to target anyone. I don't want to like witch hunt. So I seen a certain post, and it was like 3 pictures of Raven, one from season 2, one from when she was on UK Drag Race, and then one from
the most recent
Snatch Game. Yeah, Snatch Game. And it was like natural, bit of tan, blackfish. What's your opinion on this whole blackfish shit?
I, again, as a white person, don't think it's my place to decide what isn't okay and what isn't offensive to a black person. Like, don't get me wrong, in terms of cultural appropriation, things like that, if I see something that I think is wrong, I'm not afraid to call it out.
Yeah.
But I again, I'm not mentioning no names, and I would still respect this person. But if you have an opinion and you make it,
stick by it.
I think you should be able to stick by that opinion and at least argue why you think that, rather than just delete it without any explanation.
I'm going to take a slightly different slant on it. I'm going to say educate yourself before you speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
don't just post something to trend. Don't post something to go in with the hashtags. Go in with something having a full education on the background. Look at it yourself, do the research, learn what you're on about, and then speak once you are educated. Don't just look for the likes and the shares.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you do post something or say something in person or on social media or whatever, and someone has an opinion about it and tells you to go educate yourself, go and educate yourself, and then come back and say, I apologise, I've done this research, I've learned this is my new formulated opinion.
Yeah.
And
who the dumb blonde was coming up with this?
Oh my god! Like she's done her fucking research this week, hasn't she?
It's
When she was on Pebbles Row, she was like,
Yeah, I'm
Winnie
pretty.
the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. No, I was watching Pebbles Roast, right? And literally, I was watching Elle majority of the time, and she's done it a couple of times in this. She literally sits there and goes, as other people are speaking, staring at herself. I
She's
know
been
she
doing it
is,
all
but
night.
she's literally like. But now we've finally got something she can speak about. It's like, ooh.
But
I
no,
think
I,
the other thing
I,
it could be is
I think I think people should take a breath before they post a status.
Yeah, and as well, again, I'm not saying this is anyone in particular that I know, but if you're going to say something behind closed doors about an issue, if you feel that strongly about it that you can say it behind closed doors, you should be able to feel strongly enough about that you can say it to everyone, not just to certain people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to post something or say something to the wider community because you think there's going to be a backlash, maybe there's an issue with what you're saying.
I'm just catching up on the comments. Lots of people very much agreeing. Take your time, learn what you're on about.
Yeah.
I've got a comment. I'm that fashion queen Ahura. I couldn't make it to top 4. Elle, what's your opinion?
You're such a dick. Right. If we're going to talk about deep, meaningful, I loved Ahura from day one. Yeah, she was a twat sometimes.
But you got a kit as well, so.
Well, yeah.
I had that comment so many fucking times that our personalities were the same. Like, I love pandas. That is a compliment that I would say. Like, it's again delivery, something I'm working on. Right, carry on.
I think Ahura was in it to play the game to make it as far as she could. And I think my opinion on Drag Race is I love Drag Race. I'm a huge fan of Drag Race and I love drag. Whether it's in Drag Race, out of Drag Race, whether it's Irish, British, American,
all aspects.
I love it. Like, it just interests me. But Drag Race is not a drag competition. It's a reality TV show competition where you happen to be in drag. And
Can I interrupt? Because I've got to my 20-11 Wii. So I shall be back momentarily. Keep chatting amongst yourselves. Keep it going.
Yeah, but
what do you think about that bitch, by the way? What do you think about it? What do you think about that bitch? No, she's gone.
I love Penny. As I say,
no, I'm joking. I'm fucking joking. Carry on.
You're such a twat. Yeah, I love Ahura. And look, do I wish Ahura had made top 4? Yeah. Do I think Ahura is going to do potentially better for finishing 5th instead of top 4? Maybe. She's got that storyline of, she was robbed, blah, blah, blah. And
you know my opinion. I didn't really gel to her to begin with, but
yeah, totally.
As it went on, I actually did really, really like her. So and the thing is, I love Tez as well. I don't think them two should have been in the bottom, but from that lip sync, I don't think Tez should have stayed.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah.
I watched. Did I watch or did I read? I think I watched an Ahura kind of press release. I've left Drag Race kind of thing, and she basically said that it's a TV show. It's reality TV. It's regardless if you want to sit there and be like, it's a drag competition. It is and it isn't. And I think maybe people don't get that. But her and Tace had done this thing where they created, like, they did have a thing in the past, but they created the storyline.
Yeah.
And Ahura said they both knew it was either going to end up, they were top 2 of Drag Race, and one of them was going to win, or it was going to be a lip sync. And I personally could see them being the top 2 together, so they had to lip sync, one of them had to go home.
Yeah. Second question, what's your opinion on Lawrence's outburst? Can I answer this one first? Because I love explaining this. Basically, my opinion is I completely understood where Lawrence came from. If, say, that was me and you put me...
It's very me and you thing.
Like, say if it was me and you, like, we've had all this connection from day one, and then you put me after someone that you knew I'd be fine with, but could potentially fuck me up, I'd be pissed off with you. So I understood completely where she came from.
I think, again, it's all. I'm not saying Drag Race is scripted by any means, but it is dramatized for TV. But again, I think Eddie's downfall there was she said she set them up, which is fine. It's a competition. If you want to set people up, do it.
I know what you're going to say, and I agree.
Around and say, "Oh my god, I feel so bad." No, you did it. Own up to it.
You did it on purpose, yeah. And I think that's why Lawrence kicked off in Untucked as much as she did, because say one thing, then afterwards, I felt really bad. Lies.
Yeah. Apparently, though, they did the infamous "Who Should Go Home Tonight" on that episode and didn't air it. And apparently, everyone said Ellie, and Ellie said Ahura, which is why Ahura was so catty.
I like looking at it because I don't watch Untucked. I barely watch the main show, but I've been tuning in for the season 13 and the UK one. And I'm kind of watching it and I'm going, why are they so upset with someone playing the game that they've grown to love?
Yeah.
As fans, they loved that moment where a queen pulled the rug out from underneath someone else. And I get what Lawrence was saying, after gigs back in the past, I've looked after her, she stayed at mine and all the rest of it. But bitch, this is in front of the cameras. This is in front of the cameras. This is your moment.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been very honest about my stance when it comes to Drag Race, because in the Art Girls group chat, we've had little talks about Drag Race and things like that. And I have said I would happily throw every single one of them under the bus to get further in the competition.
Yeah.
Because 3 weeks down the line, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're all on the same tour. We're all doing the same work.
Yeah.
It's not even like there's a real prize to the UK version.
Oh. And we discussed before about the likes of Vaga, Cheryl, Blue doing really well.
Yeah.
That's gone to prove you don't need to win Drag Race. And I'm not saying that Vivian's not doing amazing things.
She's doing fantastic.
The rest of them are doing really well as well.
Yeah. The top 5 at least are doing brilliantly.
Yeah.
The one that I hear the least about is Crystal.
Yeah.
But she's still continuously working. I think that's her choice, though.
She still does a lot of stuff with Wow Presents on YouTube, whereas a lot of the rest of them aren't. Gothy, for example, I haven't seen much of, and that's not to say that she's not doing stuff. I've just not seen it.
I'm just putting this here as a little advert for my hair guy.
Yeah.
No, Gothy's not doing. Gothy not very prominent online. Scaredy Cat as well.
Yeah, but then
actually, I disagree. I was saying I disagree. Gothy DJs every single gig, every after party. It's always Gothy. It'll be Cheryl performing, and then Gothy is the after party DJ. So she's getting equal amounts of work. It's just not on stage.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But that comes back to: are you happy being in a DJ box, or would you rather be on stage?
Well, look at Pearl.
It depends what you want to do after Drag Race. Yeah. Because if, again, I'm trying to think of an example. I'm going to be stuck now. I'm trying to think of someone who went home fairly early on Drag Race who's done really well for themselves.
Good luck.
Shady, there wasn't meant to be. Oh my god. Are
you thinking UK or in general?
In general.
Vinegar Strokes has done very well for herself. Yeah, she went home quite well.
It's what you do with the exposure. Miss Vanjie.
Not only Vanjie, I was about to say Alyssa, because Alyssa wasn't her season. She wasn't there that long even.
But it's what you do with it afterwards. So the likes of Blue finished, was it top 6?
Yeah.
That's good, but in a cast of 10, it's not.
Yeah, it's proportionate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Blue's done amazing things after Drag Race because of what.
Blue's drive.
Yeah. If you don't want to continuously push yourself and try new things and get more exposure and do things, you're never gonna get them.
Like Pebble and Plastic commented that they are doing a year of yes, and it's also something that I'm kind of doing at the same time.
Yeah.
Is it something that you two would consider doing, where you just say yes to every opportunity, just for the experience?
I personally have. So Pebble Roast is way out my comfort zone, and
Yeah.
it's not something I don't think people would expect or put me down to do.
But you held your own during it.
I don't
Funny. It was.
I don't think I was like, I wouldn't go for a cigarette during it. Not that I would for anyone, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think you continuously have to do new things and try new things, and if you're not gonna say yes to things, you're not gonna get new opportunities.
Night sush. Sush is off to bed. But no, I like. Do you find that saying yes to things opens more doors?
In a way, yeah.
Is that people are more willing to approach you with ideas because you said yes to the things?
For example, if you were putting on a show, right, in Heavens, and a queen or king or performer said, "Oh, actually, no, I can't do that," would you ask them again?
Probably.
Depending on circumstance.
Once more, yeah.
I think depending on circumstance.
You give benefit of the doubt, whereas a lot of people maybe don't give benefit of the doubt.
If it was something like Sunday Night Live, where it was themed, and a theme came around that would fit this person perfectly, for example, superheroes and October, I would go, this theme needs to be in it.
Yeah, of course. But I guess it's a risk saying no to things in the sense.
It's definitely more detrimental to your career path if you say no.
I don't think it's like a detriment where you're never going to get booked or hired again.
No.
But it might.
But if people think you're willing to try something.
Yeah.
I feel like depending on reason and circumstance, it should change the perception of why they're saying no or yes. So,
absolutely.
So the past 2 months, I've said no to a lot of things, but obviously like personal things. I've not wanted to put the energy into something that, do you know what I mean? Like, it is obviously beneficial, but I've not wanted to change my energy from focusing on me to focusing on this video type thing.
That's fair.
So like I personally, like the past 2 months, I've said no to almost everything, and it's nothing because like I don't want to, it's because I want to work on myself. And I feel like it's only been the past 2-3 weeks where I've realized this sort of like self-appreciation, if that makes sense. So now I'm in the mindset of like, yes, let's do this, let's do that, let's organize all this shit. Whereas if someone asked me to do something in January, I said no, and that was me cut, it'd be like, is that fair?
I think it comes back to what me and Penny were saying earlier about doing things virtually is so different to doing a performance in a bar. Like, if this wasn't a lockdown situation and someone said, will you be part of my virtual show and do a 3-minute number, but will you edit it and like do costume changes and lip sync out of it and do parts outside, and then I'd maybe be like, oh, I don't know if I can commit to that. But if you need me to do a 3-minute number in a bar where it's literally going for a night out and having to perform, then yeah. But I don't know that because we're so limited about what we can do at the moment.
Yeah, I think the limitations that's being imposed on us has been very helpful for people who don't know how to break out their boxes, like me.
Yeah.
I found it very freeing to have these other rules imposed by other people.
Yeah.
So I can go, I'm willing to do stuff. Unfortunately, at the minute, I'm stuck to this.
Yeah.
Penny, I have a question.
Go on then.
You said you were filming on Thursday. What did you film?
I filmed a makeup tutorial Yeah, me. I know, right?
See,
Just doing my own face.
That's out of your box.
Yeah, very much so. I've filmed it, I've edited it, I put it all together, and I've watched it, and I've gone, that's not for public consumption.
No, but that's the thing. You are your biggest critique.
No, yeah, basically, I did the whole thing, and the lights were on, like that times 10. So you can't see a single thing on the face.
Like,
so as a makeup tutorial, they can't see a fucking thing. It's ridiculous. Honestly, I didn't realize until the last 10 minutes that it bleached me out that much. So I was like, oh, I filmed it anyway. But it gave me experience in filming, editing, soundtrack, all of that stuff that I put into it. I'm taking the positives out of it and I'm going, I now know how to use this. I now know how to do that.
Yeah.
So the next one, probably not going to be a makeup tutorial, but it will be a video that's edited to filth. So that's
do
me
a TikTok.
I would try TikTok.
Do a TikTok.
However, I'm in my 30s.
It's not Stop Pebble.
At Pebble Dash on TikTok. No, it's for me, TikTok isn't fun. I don't understand putting things into a minute. I need more than a minute to get my point across.
I only used 15 seconds.
I don't post. I just look at like funny things.
I mean, I did sign up to TikTok, but it's just to get the name.
See, I've recently done a couple, but I've done them for Facebook and Instagram. It's not been for TikTok. I just post them on there. Then I'm like, ignore that. I don't even have notifications for it, so I don't know the reception I'm getting. Whereas I just do something because I like the whole like. Change.
We've got porn saying do OnlyFans. Girl, mine's available on Twitter for free. It's fine.
Who said this?
Porn.
Porn.
The queen formerly known as Karma.
No one wants my OnlyFans.
TikTok is fine in your 30s. Thanks, Franny. I need that 17 pence. I really do. But yeah, Franny's got like thousands of followers. Franny Barron's doing very well with it.
Barron, like amazing things. And you know, who would have thought this time last year that drag online was going to have so much presence? And
it's
such a good reception.
It's been a kind of rejuvenation for the art. Like we're now branching out into things that we didn't used to do. It used to be very bar based. It used to be very kind of dirty almost, and now we've got mainstream.
It was punk.
Going on the other apps. We're branching out.
I feel like a lot of queens don't realise it's the platform of Drag Race that's made it more acceptable to do drag. Like I remember, go back like 10, 11 years ago, if you did drag, you were untouchable. No one wanted to be with you. No one wanted to look at you. No one would flirt with you. No attention there. It was gross.
Thanks, Jack.
My first ever drag experience was Theodore Delano with Shade.
I was there.
Your two. And I was 17, but that was like my first ever experience of drag. And I still think that's kind of recent enough in terms of drag has changed, but I don't think it was as taboo as it is, or as it was. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like it's just more accepted in a sense.
Yeah.
I do want to say, please do your research on history of drag. Please follow LGBT History Project Northeast. Give them a follow, because I did see someone on Facebook today, saying that drag was invented by the New York ballroom scene, and I'm like, stop commenting on TV shows.
I think I only saw that because you commented on it, and it showed that you commented on it.
I was like, you're confusing your TV shows. These TV shows are here to educate you a little bit, but they are fictional. Like Pose is fictional. Like a lot of it happened, but please educate yourself on it. Watch Paris is Burning. Like
I think it's in again. Like this could be offensive to some people, but whatever. It's what we're here for. I think a lot of LGBTQ plus people maybe think they don't need to know their history or research their history because they're part of the community anyway. So whatever, like I'm part of it. Why should I give a fuck?
Like, It's a Sin was a massive thing for a lot of new people now.
It was amazing, but that doesn't mean the research needs to stop there.
No.
You know, you can always learn new things. And again, it obviously did give a very heart-wrenching exposure, I guess, to what things were like. But again, it's dramatized. It's not a documentary.
Speaking
of
of
the other day, who hasn't seen it, just It's a Sin, because it's far too close to home for them.
Yeah.
And they were saying it's kind of brought a lot of things to the forefront, but at the same time, with it being a drama, hasn't brought everything to date. Apparently, there was meant to be an episode where it was modern day and it was Jill.
Yeah.
That got scrapped because they cut the series. But they were saying they needed something to kind of represent the modern day HIV.
And I think, you know, it's great that, and I'm not saying that HIV is just a thing that affects the gay community, but for the gay community, it was a great thing to have that little bit of exposure on such an important issue. But unfortunately, when we look to the past and don't apply it to modern day life, maybe that's where some of the stigma still exists.
One of the things that they mentioned to me was that there's still people out there who are, and I can't believe I'm saying this is a thing, like, who are chasers, who this is a crazy part of the LGBTQ environment that we have. There are people out there who want to be positive, and it's not something that
actually, I can't remember who it was. It was sent to me in a group chat. Posted a picture about how bareback sex was superior, and you know, catch the disease, pass it on.
There's a thing on Twitter. There's a hashtag on Twitter that does go around, and people who have that hashtag in their profiles, do only do bareback, and it's such a dangerous game.
This person, anyway, it's being called out for it, rightfully so. You know, what you do in the bedroom is up to you, but if you're doing it to hurt or affect or change other people's lives just for fun, it's not good. So they were called out anyway. They just cropped the picture and reposted it. It achieves nothing. I remember dating a guy over here who within the first kind of week or so sat me down, and again, this is Ireland, it's not the UK, but sat me down and was like, look, I've got something to tell you, like, I'm HIV positive, but I'm undetectable, blah, blah, blah. He was sat crying, like, and it was like the end of the world for him, even though he'd lived with it almost all his adult life. And again, I'm not saying that's the UK's perception on it, but it goes to show, like, it is a real issue. And It's a Sin was great because it did bring such an important issue to the forefront. You know, HIV research, in terms of people researching it, has gone up. HIV tests and home tests have gone up, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But it still, to me, didn't show how far we've come today. But again, it wasn't meant to be factual.
I sat quiet on purpose for this topic because I have friends. They're very open about their status and they are positive. And I'm not going to no, it's not my fucking place to. However, they still receive messages which is like, you are scum, you are dirty, you are all this type of shit. And it's like, me, I had to educate myself because my upbringing was not gay friendly. That's all I'm going to say. And up until I was about 23, 24, I didn't have a clique of gay friends. I didn't know gay people. It was around that time I'd just broken up with someone, and then I was sort of dragged into a friendship group. They introduced me to everything, and at that time I was still thinking to myself that feminine gays were doing it for attention. They were just they were putting it on, that type of thing. So I had to educate, I didn't have to educate myself, I chose to. And still to this day, like I did everything I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to like connect with people. Like, there's Graham who comes into the yard and he has his own language, like obviously gay language type thing, which I know a lot of younger generation don't know about. They don't know it exists.
Polari's amazing.
However,
if you haven't looked into Polari, please do.
I forgot the name of it. That's why I said. However, like I am still to this day seeing some of my friends who are like getting all this like horrid words, and it's like it's gross. It's fucking disgusting because it only takes one time, a mistake, and there are people who have experienced rape, and it's happened, but the victim is then blamed for being dirty for it, and it's just I don't understand gay people who are willing to shun anyone like that. Watch It's a Sin, experience it, because it was Miss Bruce who said that was
her era of clubbing and everything, wasn't it? It was like
a documentary, she said. That's what she compared it to.
It should have been a documentary.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine being alive during those times.
No.
But being alive during these times, we can do better. Like, even down to little things like on Grindr profiles and things like that, using the words "I'm clean."
Gross.
Can we change that up?
Yeah, to me, it's no different from saying mask and femme, like mask or mask, or if you're femme, don't message me, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, grow up. It's fucking 2021. Have a bit of cop on.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to say to people recently is grow up. And grow up. Just fucking grow up. Get a grip of yourself. Grow up. Like, if you still have that mentality where it's like, you're dirty, you're this, blah, 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 grow up. Just, do you know what I mean?
It's about education as well. Do you not think, like, the more people use words like last tested and things like that rather than I'm clean, like, the more it's used, the more it'll become vocabulary, the more people will do it.
There's a section on Grindr where you can put your status up, and when you were tested,
there's
nothing to put into bio saying I'm clean. It comes across as you're part of the problem and you're making it a stigma when it's not a stigma. It's no different from like
no camp, no femmes, no.
It's like Kim Chi when she was saying like no fat, no femme, no Asian.
Yeah.
It's like if you can look at that and think that's gross, then why can you not have the same attitude to what we're talking about now?
Like there was a survey that went out today. There's only something like, I think it was 11% of gay men will date a trans person, and I'm like, the fuck?
Like, I think I don't know. Everyone likes to say about snowflakes in Generation Z. Now, I'm part of Generation Z, and I don't know, is it not younger, but the new mentality? Because like we learned about things like this in school from the age of 10. Like, it was part of the curriculum, and obviously, you know, maybe back like 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't.
Back in my day.
But like, in my eyes, trans men are men. So if you're a gay man, where's the issue? And then it comes back down to if it's to do with genitalia and just the sex purposes. To me, that's not
shallow. That's so shallow.
You're just looking at sex, and like I think it's that thing where a lot of gay men, it's all about sex, and it's not always all about sex. Unfortunately, do you know what I mean? Like,
the thing is, if you're focused on sex, don't let any, like, the thing is, I don't care if you're willing to be promiscuous. That's what you want to do. That's how you live your life. Great. One, be safe. Two, let people know who you are and what you want and that type of thing. However, don't then like use it as an excuse to be a dick. Like I said earlier, it takes one bad experience to be infected. And then you judging someone.
It takes one moment. It takes a moment.
Yeah. One slip.
I'll be quite honest here, since we like to be honest on this show. I had an experience recently with a guy who been seeing for a while. People
Have you? You didn't fucking tell me. That's rude.
I know, sorry.
Homophobe.
Who, lovely guy, and part of his job role got free. So, by the way, for a lot of sexual health things here, we have to pay for.
Yeah,
because it's Ireland.
Tell me what you want, and I'll post it over to you. Okay.
But part of his job role entitles him to free STI and HIV screening tests, and he had a positive result, and texted me being like, "Oh, sorry, he is the issue. Well, not issue, but he is. It was an issue for him. It wasn't for me. He is the issue. Like, maybe go get tested. Like, really sorry. Blah blah blah." And I was like, "Hold up for a second. Like, it's fine. Like, without a you okay? Like, in the moment, like." My initial thing was, for me, I didn't even think about myself. I thought about the other person, and I think a lot of people may be just a little bit selfish that way. Not that I'm saying it's selfish to do it. Like, I'm not positive. I got tested several times, and I don't have HIV. But
I think people are scared because they don't have the knowledge behind, like, you can live with HIV. You can live a full, plenty life with it. It's not the end of the world.
It comes back to that where people either aren't educated, don't want to be educated, or don't try to educate themselves.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to lie, I would feel more safe in a relationship with someone who was undetectable HIV positive than someone who did not know their status. Like, I would feel so much more safe. It was like, you know what you're doing, you stay undetectable, rather than someone who's like, oh yeah. Blah.
I've got to say, I feel like this whole nonchalant approach to HIV that we've adopted nowadays has been ridiculous.
Yeah, like, you have to be.
You have to be healthy, and that's a priority. Like, be healthy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you aren't. If you,
find your words, just say it.
People are so nonchalant now about bareback sex and things like that. It's not a thing. Yes, there's medication. Yes, there's that. But that is a lifetime commitment.
Yeah.
Medication. I think people are taking it far too lightly. I think if you do the preventive work first, that's a key step.
Yeah.
Wear a condom. It's not that fucking hard.
No, I know it's not the same at all, but I'm going to compare it anyway. Why not? When we're discussing likes of, like, if a woman falls pregnant and she's not used any contraception, the man's not used any contraception, and it comes down, again, abortion here isn't as legal or safe or as allowed as it is back home. Yeah. You know, it's that same kind of thing. A child is forever. HIV status is forever as well. You just got to kind of bear it in mind.
It's like when people... It's not the comparison, but it's a lighter note. It's like when people get dogs, it's not just for Christmas. So think about what you're doing. Like,
we've got Finn commenting, saying with quite a hefty status. The thing is, though, some people prefer being with cis people over trans people. Some people prefer trans people over cis people. The issue is the way those people go about making that clear. Being honest is the best policy, and if you're just putting down someone who's trans because you prefer cis people, or putting cis people down because you prefer trans people, that's where the issue lies.
Completely agree. Like, gross. People need to grow up. Yeah. Grow up.
Like, I can't say I have a preference over cis or trans.
Yeah.
I would just rather have a boyfriend.
Yeah. Personally, in a relationship with anyone, it doesn't come down to sex, like the act of sex. So if they're, a man with a penis or a man with female genitalia or vice whatever, it wouldn't bother me as such, because I don't sex is great, but it's not the be all end all.
I think it was Holy Tea posted yesterday for International Women's Day a picture where there were women of all types, and they got some hate on there from the TERFs, obviously. And I was just like, do you know what? No, these are women. These people are women. Everyone.
I just think, how insecure are you to focus on what's between someone's legs to know who you are?
The thing is, I'm not even lying. As a gay man, I've walked into a bar and I've necked on with a lesbian without knowing they were a lesbian. And I was like, this is a twink. And I was 100% behind that person being a twink. And then they went, oh, I'm a lesbian. And I, in that second, accepted it.
Penny.
But
think of Ray.
Sorry. Is she frozen?
I think she is.
Oh, it's not her best. Screen print.
Am I frozen?
You're unfrozen.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Am I back? No, so all I was going to say there was think of Ray without tits. Twink.
Oh, no, absolutely. I will eye people up and I'll be like, you are my type. And I won't know their gender. I won't know their background. I won't know anything about them. But they're my type. Yeah. And I'll be like, going in for that.
Yeah. See, for me, personally, it then falls into... I'm not saying it's right or wrong here, because it's just a discussion we're having. But, if it's physical characteristics you're looking at, why should it matter what gender they are? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you're attracted to someone, you're attracted to someone.
If you have a type and you're attracted to them, be attracted to them. Don't worry about what's...
I think, coming back to Finn's comment, there's ways to say someone's not your type without bringing it back to something that isn't fair. If someone's not your type, just say, oh, hi, unfortunately, you're not the type I'm looking for.
Not for me.
Day. There's no need to be like, well, I don't like you because of X, Y, Z, and go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It's the delivery of it.
I'm really flat-haired, but...
Yeah. I'd say, sorry, I'm not looking for anything serious.
Yeah.
You don't need to lie, but you don't need to be hateful about it.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, we got a little deep.
It's been completely different to what you normally do, your other guest type thing. This has been quite...
I love a good chat. I do love a good chat with Tuesday.
Yeah. I think it's just important to hear different viewpoints, and as I said, I'm big on education. I love things, so I think
I've tried to pour myself a drink with the cork still in.
Oh,
stupid!
It's see-through. I don't understand. It's a see-through.
I've had since Christmas.
What?
Well, Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
What did you say there?
It's the first drink since Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Is there anything you girls want to ask? Any questions you girls want to have?
What's your favourite colour?
Blue.
Yellow.
Of course it is.
Any questions coming in for the girls? Let us know. Don't expect me to be this deep next week. We've got Travesty next week.
Oh, exciting.
Travesty and Mona coming in next week. So it's going to be a little mixed bag. We don't know what's going to happen.
Penny, why do you keep flashing?
I have no idea. I've
Not,
plugged in. I haven't touched anything. I don't know why. Kieran says best live so far. He obviously hasn't seen the rest of them, but I'll take it. Ray has said, why am I a Twinkie lesbian is what I want to know. Kitana.
Literally take away your tits and you look like a twink. Am I wrong? I
don't think I've met her.
I think they're far too pretty in the face to be a twink.
Twinks are pretty.
Not that pretty.
I would name some, but I don't want the ego boost for them.
Jack's in the comments saying, what else we got going on? We've got Jack saying red, whatever that means.
Favorite colour.
Oh, right.
Ah.
Great. Elle, who does your hair and why is it not me, says Gary.
What?
I did this one myself. This is from AliExpress. But yeah, no, I'll drop your message actually because I'd love to have a wig by you because you do such amazing work. I'm always admiring Chana's. So we'll make
Get your
that
tongue out his ass. He's got a boyfriend.
So what have you girls got coming up in the future? What's coming up next? What's for you?
Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
Go on then, Elle, because you've got stuff coming up.
So next Wednesday, for St. Patrick's Day, I have the Royal Rumble event, which is on my Instagram at the moment, and the ticket link is in the bio. It'll be a really good one. It'll be fun to have an actual virtual show there. And then there's other things that I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about yet, but I'm sure they'll come out in the next week or so, potentially. And then if anyone's ever looking for someone to do something virtually, I know I don't live in Newcastle anymore, but hit me up. I'm always looking to do new things, and the year saying yes.
What's it linked to?
What's it linked to?
The things that you're not allowed to talk about.
It is linked to something.
That would give it away.
Something similar to this, but with more people and a different format. But it's something that we've done before on Facebook.
Snatch game.
That we might have done recently.
Snatch game.
Oh
shit! Are you doing the virtual part thing?
I will take part and help out however I can, but I won't be doing Snatch game.
Tell me later. Tell me later. Thank you.
I'm just letting you girls talk. It's great.
Penny, what you doing?
What am I doing? I have no idea until tomorrow. Tomorrow, hopefully, I get to have a bit of a chat with people and confirm some shit. And then, hopefully, I get to tell you what I'm doing.
I'll be there.
Who knows? Who knows?
I'll be there. Are you going for 10:30, by the way?
Hmm?
Are you going for 10:30? I think it is. The Yard. Not the Yard. SR44.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to help out. I'm going to go and help out.
What time are you going for?
10:30.
Right. Are you walking?
In the morning, yes.
Right. Message me. I will walk with you.
Yeah, as well, so we can have a wins. Also, Acrid. Speaking of Acrid, I do have to, because I'm not sponsored or anything like that. But if anyone does want to buy a Tuesday necklace, it's
hold on. I had it ready.
I mean, she's not wearing it or anything like that, but you know.
But it's fuck off. It's, oh my god, I'm an influencer.
You've got to hold it like that. I have the earrings in the same size as that necklace. I now have the look. You've got to do it like this. It's great. And have earrings. Options. You can get whatever you want as a Tuesday.
I've got about 5 sets from her.
We've got the hearts. Bear with. I've got to find everything else. We've got the hearts. We've got the see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hearts. They're all there. Look at that. You can have that. Great.
Is anyone else wearing heels? Or is it
you check out the website because they've got so much other stuff as well, and it's so good. It's so good.
Is anyone else wearing heels?
It's just you.
Just me. Oh.
I'm not even wearing tights.
I have tights.
This is an Acrid. Oh,
I'm wearing the
jeans. Fucking see it. It's a lightning bolt.
We've got Trav who's on next week. Travesty is here next week. I'm asking any doesn't house parties tonight. Does anyone know of any house parties?
I might have heard of a few.
Do you know any house parties? No. Got to be safe. Control the virus. So Trav is here next week alongside Miss Mona Lott. Finn says, invite me. Kai says, lots of hearts. Finn says, Elle is interviewing Prince Harry and Meghan next week. Calling it
I wish.
Why has that not came up on mine? I want to laugh react it.
But no, it's been a fantastic night. Thank you girls so much for this.
Thanks for having me.
Fine.
One last question. If you could have been paired with anyone other than the person we're with, who would you have chosen?
Ooh. I'm gonna say Pebble.
Ooh.
Put that out there.
What about you, Kate? If you could have picked anyone to be paired with other than Elle.
If I was honest, I'd get shouted at. So
that's fair. We can do that.
Oh, then I want to know.
So I'm gonna say Mona, wink wink. By choice, anamorphic.
Good choice.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
I feel like you both did well with that. That's good choices. So next time we have a live, if we're doing Cabaret Online, I want to see these pairings happen.
Yeah.
Kit's like, oh shit.
No, it's not. Like one of my favorite times is doing nights with Anna because I don't even know why. I just like, what's the right word? Pull, gravity, that type of thing towards her.
She's got a massive draw towards her. She's an amazing, talented queen.
Warm person as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's like a smart version of Elle.
I am smart. Sometimes.
Thank you both for joining me. Thank you so much, Elle. Love you, Kitana. Thank you so much. Next week we've got Travesty and we've got Mona Lott here on the Tuesday. So God knows what's going to happen. Get your shot game ready. Write down everything that could go wrong and have a shot every time. But from me, Penny Arcade, the lovely Elle Uminati and Kitana Delevigne, we'll see you all again soon. We'll see you all again soon. Good night. Take care. And ta-ra. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.